The Egyptian pyramids in Giza are undoubtedly among the world's strangest and most fascinating structures. These ancient masterpieces, which have defied time and nature for thousands of years, still stand before us in all their majesty. As you might imagine, many people have tried to unravel the mysteries behind these massive structures for centuries. Among them is one of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla. Although Nikola Tesla passed away without receiving the recognition he deserved, he managed to uncover the terrifying truths about the pyramids. He only relatively recently began to be the center of attention. The fundamentals of his ideas led to the invention of smartphones, wireless internet, alternating current, and many other technologies we use today. Besides his insane ideas, Tesla also stated that he was involved in a number of highly secret projects, including the Egyptian pyramids. His journey to solve the secrets of the pyramids began when he was 20 years old, and already at that point, he decided to make this subject his greatest purpose in life. Composed of approximately 2.5 million stone blocks and weighing 6 million tons, the Egyptian pyramids are mysterious and magnificent structures that attract many visitors from all over the world. You must know that these pyramids are full of unsolved secrets. Some of these secrets, especially the pyramid's ability to generate power, have been the source of Nikola Tesla's groundbreaking ideas and inventions. Many people believed that the pyramids were actually the tombs of Egyptian pharaohs, but it was surprising that not a single mummy was found in any of them, and all the mummies were lying in the Valley of the Kings. Furthermore, there were no native Egyptian inscriptions or art on the pyramids. This fact raised a question that remained unanswered for a long time. Why spend so many resources to build such massive structures with no purpose? Now that we know they were neither tombs for Egyptian pharaohs nor structures built in honor of some gods, we can turn back to Tesla. Nikola Tesla read many books about the ancient structures and discovered that the pyramids contained an incredible amount of energy. Electricity was little known at the time, and Tesla began to consider the possibility of some advanced technology hidden inside the pyramids. Ultimately, he became convinced that the pyramids drew their power from electromagnetism. According to him, the pyramids were built with some kind of crystal energy, and the chambers inside them might have been used to do things with electromagnetic fields. However, he also championed the theory that materials like the stones used in the construction of the Great Pyramid possessed the properties of storing energy obtained from the sun and moon. Therefore, he suggested that the pyramid could have been designed to produce an energy field capable of supplying electricity to cities. In 1905, Tesla filed a patent in the U.S. titled The Art of Transmitting Electrical Energy Through the Natural Medium. The patent outlined designs for a worldwide generator that collected electrical energy by tapping into the ionosphere. Tesla saw the Earth as a giant electrical generator with limitless energy, rotating around two magnetic poles. Later, he named his triangular design Tesla's electromagnetic pyramid. Furthermore, he believed that the energy source was the location of the pyramids rather than their shapes. For this reason, he decided to build the tower called the Wardenclyffe Tower, or Tesla Tower. Colorado Springs is known today as the Tesla Experimental Station. He built the tower in that region, taking into account the location of the pyramids and the elliptical orbit of the planet at the equator. The construction of the tower was based on his theories of how the Earth could transmit signals. According to Tesla, the prototype would be able to send and receive unlimited data and energy from a distance as far as Paris. Unfortunately, Tesla's discovery and device were forgotten after his death in 1943. However, his work managed to reach our day. Academics and researchers studied his theories about the power of the pyramid, and the ideas they generated helped uncover many of the mysteries surrounding the pyramids. What Tesla tried to explain to us about the pyramids might seem a bit complex. Perhaps he wanted us to understand the power of something much older than we thought. Who knows? To clarify things a bit more, you can look at Tesla's idea regarding numbers. According to Tesla, the numbers 3, 6, and 9 constituted a great key to the universe. Therefore, they were of great importance to all of us.
Tesla suggested that many patterns in the universe, galaxies, star formations, evolution, and almost all systems occur naturally. Some believe his obsession with the numbers 3, 6, and 9 led him to favor the pyramid shape and certain fundamental laws of mathematics. Tesla, on the other hand, thought these numbers were the essential digits of the universal mathematical language, and that is why he did not do anything that was not the number 3 or a multiple of 3. For example, before entering a building, he would walk around the structure 3 times. He would stay in hotels where the number of floors and rooms was divisible by 3. He lived in room number 337 on the 33rd floor of the New Yorker Hotel in New York. Mathematically, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 2 plus 7 is 9, so the hotel was suitable for him. He slept for about 3 hours every night and polished his cutlery and plates with 18 napkins before using them. He made decisions in groups of 3. Whatever calculations he made about the things around him, he ensured that the results were divisible by 3. These results formed the basis of his choices and decisions. So what was Tesla trying to tell us with his obsession with the numbers 3, 6, and 9? We are aware that mathematics is a universal language and that its laws concern everyone on Earth. Tesla believed that his understanding of this universal language could help us understand the power of the pyramid and its importance for our planet. His theories made us look beyond the pyramid's physical shape and explore its spiritual and energy-related properties. For example, in vortex mathematics, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 2 equals 4, 4 plus 4 equals 8, 8 plus 8 equals 16, 16 plus 16 equals 32. You may have noticed that the number patterns only rotate as 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5. Although these numbers repeat within themselves, 3, 6, and 9 do not follow this pattern. Ancient people noticed these patterns in nature and adapted them to their constructions.
Can we say that Nikola Tesla was trying to tell us some facts by referencing the Great Pyramids? Let's delve a little deeper into the matter and find out the reasons. The size of the pyramid is aligned with the compass with an accuracy that can only be achieved with modern engineering. The Giza Pyramid weighs 6 million tons and consists of 2.5 million blocks of stone. It is 146 meters high and covers an area of over 53,000 square meters. Aligning this structure precisely to the north is a precision that is almost impossible to maintain. This is because the base of the pyramid is aligned within 3/4 of an inch, 1.9 centimeters. The sides of the pyramid are over 230 meters long, and each side is within 5 centimeters of the other. Interestingly, the pyramids do not have 4 straight sides. Each face is slightly concave, and you can only see this when looking directly at it, or when the pyramid casts a shadow during the equinoxes. Whoever built the pyramids had a very good knowledge of the size of the Earth. If you multiply the 146-meter height of the pyramid by 43,200, you will find that the structure is within 17 kilometers of the polar radius. This means an accuracy of 99%. Likewise, if you multiply the base circumference of the Great Pyramid, which is 921 meters, by 43,200, you will get a result very close to the Earth's equator circumference. Although the Great Pyramid is aligned with the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, a 5% margin of error can be observed. However, given that the builders of the structure lived in the Dark Ages, this can be considered quite insignificant. In this case, a new question arises. How did ancient people know so much about the dimensions of the planet? Although mysterious, it is a known fact that people in ancient times attached great importance to the equinoxes. Equinox is when night and day are of equal length. During an equinox, the length of day and night is 43,200 seconds. However, most skeptics regard the relationship between the equinox and the size of the Earth as merely a coincidence. On the other hand, the engineer Glenn Dash believed that the Egyptians could not have used the North Star to align the pyramids. He believed they must have used the autumnal equinox to achieve a perfect alignment in the structures. Earlier, the use of equinox measurements as a possible alignment method had been overlooked. This was because it was thought that alignment calculations required more accuracy. Dash decided to conduct an experiment and found that the autumnal equinox could have been used, among a number of other methods. Well, what did all this mean? How could the pyramids be a source of energy? The pyramids were built with limestone and other materials transported from long distances. Each block was placed so tightly that it is impossible to find a gap between them. For example, the stones at the peak were cut from a quarry about 800 kilometers away and transported to the area. The exterior of the Great Pyramid of Giza is made of electrically insulating materials, specifically white Tellura-type limestone because it does not contain magnesium. The fact that the interior and chambers are made of electrically conductive material has made it possible to control the energy release inside the pyramid. Also, the blocks used in the interior were made of another form of limestone blocks containing a small amount of crystals and metals. Crystals and metals allow for maximum power transmission. It is worth noting that the Tesla Tower also worked on the same principle as the pyramids. Now let's move on to some basic concepts. There are several elements that allow wireless power to work. These are the sun, the water beneath the tower or pyramid, and the height at which the tower will be positioned to allow the energy to spread. The top of the pyramids was made of gold, which is an excellent electrical conductor, and in the middle there is granite, which acts as an energy transceiver. When these are combined, wireless energy emerges. In a 2018 study, scientists decided to find out how the pyramid could focus energy. The team used radio waves at different frequencies to determine if the pyramid could react to certain electromagnetic waves. They discovered that the pyramid concentrated electromagnetic energy in its inner chambers and under its base. According to scientists, radio waves ranging in length from 200 to 600 meters can cause vibration. The closer the waves are to 200 meters, the greater the effect. All this brings us back to the source of energy, and thus to Tesla. The Wardenclyffe Tower was built on an aquifer that discharged negative ions to the top of the tower. The tower had copper and iron rods extending towards the water. Tesla would draw energy from the ionosphere and send it to the Earth through vibration so that other receivers could read it. The same was true for the Great Pyramid. The pyramid was also built on an aquifer, an ancient underground water channel. Copper pipes and iron rods were recently discovered there. The Nile River flows very close to the pyramids, creating an electric current beneath them. The electricity would then pass through the granite stones inside the pyramids, moving towards the capstone at the top of the pyramid. This is what is called piezoelectricity, which is electrical energy that we can obtain from natural physical movements such as a river or the ground, including simple actions like walking. Water would flow into the chambers at the base and then flow out, creating pressure that would vibrate the pyramids. Then the vibration would reach the king's chamber at a certain frequency. That is, the king's chamber consisted of devices that vibrated with the energies on Earth, which were then converted into electromagnetic energy. Tesla's wireless power distribution system used the Earth's vibration, just like the pyramid. Furthermore, the energy produced by the tower would be limitless and clean. Unfortunately, the tower was demolished. Besides the tower, evidence was also found that the Great Pyramid had been burned from the inside. Traces of hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid were found in the south, while traces of zinc, coke, sulfur, and ammonium chloride were discovered in the north. These chemicals can produce hydrogen even when in the same environment, provided they are not mixed. However, if you combine ammonium chloride with sulfuric acid, you get an explosion. Considering the structure of the pyramid, it was estimated that the explosion was controllable. In 2001, burn marks were found at the base. Also, cracks occurred in the granite lintels in the southeast ceiling of the king's chamber. Egyptologists said the cracks were caused by an earthquake. However, it was realized that the damage only occurred in the areas where the highly compressed hydrogen flowed in the pyramid. Apart from that, the walls of the king's chamber also seemed to be separated from the floor and pushed outwards. Similar damage occurred in the steps, the chamber, and other parts of the interior. All of these pointed to an explosion. Initially, the explosion was thought to be caused by an earthquake, but the engineer Christopher Dunn rejected this idea and suggested that a catastrophe might have occurred in the pyramid that eroded the structure similar to an active power plant. However, ancient Egyptians are known to be good record keepers, and no record of any catastrophe was found during the construction of the pyramid. Dunn suggested that the event occurred thousands of years ago. However, this theory has not yet been fully clarified. In conclusion, Nikola Tesla was right. These important but localized areas revealed evidence of electromagnetic energy. Even in those days, people used energy from the ionosphere to create technologies we can only dream of.
Just think about how clean, renewable energy would make life safer for people.